Our hearts are large containers that house hosts of regrets. This is especially true when we reflect on our imperfect childhoods. There are things we wish we had done, places we wish we had been to, friends we wish we had made, and experiences we wish we had undergone. Indeed, our hearts remember them all. But I'm here to talk about two individuals who did not let their regrets hold them back, who overcame and outweighed their failures with the glory of imagination, exploration, and having fun. That's right, I'm talking about the comic strip characters Calvin and Hobbes. There are many life lessons that can be learned from this duo story, but I'm here to focus on three of the most essential. Number 1, don't judge a book by its cover. 2, be who you really are. And 3, stick to your principles. First, don't judge a book by its cover. Works of literature shouldn't be disregarded simply because they are unconventional. In fact, we can see that being true in the example of Calvin and Hobbes. When Calvin and Hobbes was being printed, parents discouraged their children from reading it because they felt comics were crude and didn't have any substance really in them. But Calvin and Hobbes proved that that was the exact opposite. Kids, when they read Calvin and Hobbes, their language capabilities improved, their vocabularies, their reading comprehension, and also, as far as substance goes, they were able to consider deep issues about humanity and life because of Calvin and Hobbes and the exposure that they received from it. And so we can see from this example and derive from this example the most important principle from the speech that you can take away, and that is this. Literature is worth reading when it brings us face to face with greatness, and in that process we come to understand the greatness within ourselves. Calvin and Hobbes exposes us to the greatness with their extensive vocabularies, profound perceptions toward life and humanity, and their senses of humor. Second point, be who you really are. Throughout the comic, Calvin resists the urge to conform to society, especially as a student. When he's in school and he's asked to answer a question, oftentimes he'll take a unique standpoint and answer the question from that unique standpoint. It doesn't exactly answer the question, but he's using his own thinking process, and in that way he does not allow society to mold him or force him to conform to certain norms. Calvin expresses who he really is also through his incredible imagination. There are many different worlds and situations that he creates, and these are manifestations of him being who he really is through his imagination. Calvin's relationship with Hobbes is also a manifestation of him being who he really is, because their relationship is unique and awesome because they are genuine with each other. Their friendship is special because it's real and honest. And then the third and final point is stick to your principles. We learn this principle, this life lesson, from the actual creator of Calvin and Hobbes, Bill Watterson, and his example. Watterson saw that the medium is the message, and he believed that one should be in sync with his or her work. And so he tried to understand and preserve the integrity and fullness of Calvin and Hobbes. In fact, he became so synchronized with the essence of his strip that he saw that licensing his characters for merchandise was wrong and it would be destructive towards the spirit of Calvin and Hobbes. In an interview, in fact, Watterson said this about licensing his characters. He said, "It's easy to transfer the essence of a gag-oriented strip. However, Calvin and Hobbes isn't a gag strip. The humor is situational. It relies on conversation and the developmental process that the characters undergo. These aren't concerns you can wrap up neatly in a piece of merchandise. To explore a character, you need lots of time and space. The strip is about more than jokes. To license Calvin and Hobbes would ruin the most precious qualities of my strip, and once that happens, you can't buy those qualities back." Watterson, through this example, stuck to his principles throughout his entire career and denied potentially to the ability to make millions of dollars. In conclusion, There are many aspects of my childhood that I wish had been better. But I believe that Calvin and Hobbes helped me to realize the awesome experiences that I'll never forget. As a result of reading a simple comic strip, the greatness to which I was exposed became a part of me. I also believe that anyone who desires to improve, who wishes to approach literature without bias, be who they really are, and stick to what is right, can receive guidance through a story about a little boy and his journey through life with a stuffed tiger. To quote Calvin, who will forever remain one of my role models, "It's a magical world, Hobbes, old buddy. Let's go exploring. Now go and make your heart a container full of treasures that can only come from the glory of exploration." Thank you.